Hey everyone, welcome to the Playback Podcast presented by Car, your weekly podcast featuring America's favorite dancers, hosted by America's favorite road warriors. We are your hosts, Jocelyn, Kristyn, and Olivia. You guys, there was so many shows this weekend. We have a million picks to get through.
Yeah.
We're excited.
So many.
We're feeling good. Let's get into it.
Okay, I was in Columbus at Rainbow. I haven't worked a Rainbow show in a minute. So, Hey Rainbow, I was back. First performance, 261, Lover Please Stay. I was locked into this dancer named Anna from Infusion Dance. Holy macaroni. First of all, loved the song, never heard it before. I was into it. She had this beautiful blue costume. She did another solo, but this one was my favorite. I do have to put that out there. This one was my favorite. The way she moved, I was enamored by her. And I just wanted to shout her out because holy cow. There's a moment I had to write it down. Like I literally typed it in my notes as soon as she did it because I was like, whoa. She did this arch back, like arms out moment where she like kind of like arched and like held it for a while. Like she took like that full like slow 8 count to get all the way around. And I heard Judge 1 literally go, oh my God. And I was like, I feel the same way, girl. It was incredible. Her other solo placed first overall. However, this one was my favorite. So if I was a judge, I would have been like, this one needs to be the winner. So, I mean, that's why I'm not a judge because I wouldn't be very good at it. But congratulations, Anna. You were killing it. Both solos. Loved it.
Love. So good.
So good.
Okay, I had deja vu this weekend because we did San Jose for our first stop and then we went back. So I think it's the only way to start is to talk about a dance that I saw in the first one. And then the improvement that I saw in the second one was actually insane. So act number 126, Copycat, Victoria Nichols from Extreme Force Dance. I loved this routine when I first saw it. And then I got surprised when I saw it again. And I was like, okay, that improvement, I didn't know you could get better. It was so good. Black and white costume, super cool. The Billie Eilish song Copycat. The choreography was so cool. And I don't know if you made any changes, but like the way you hit it was different this time. And so props to you. I got to meet her at the merch booth and her mom. Cute. I was so excited to talk about you. This is like so cool. You did so great. And I hope I get to see you again 3 times. Yeah. That'd be so fun.
Oh. 3rd time's the charm. Okay, I stopped by Car Upland on Saturday, and there were 2 performances, ended up being from the same studio.
Okay.
Coincidence. This was 227 Cabaret from Brooklyn Dance Academy. Immediately from the start, this main character, the dancer who was like portraying Wilkeman, the character commitment was there. First of all, I love during a musical theater number when you're lip syncing with the accent. I think it just like is a tier above that, like
it does.
Professional. Yes, the professional side of it. Love that side. So first and foremost, shout out to Wilkeman, that main dancer. But his lovely ladies in the background were killing it. Every single one of them was equally committed to it. The facials, you could tell they were having fun with it. And it was one of those routines where the whole time I was just like, I loved it. It was so fun. And this was like their little bit, like probably I would say 12 to 14 dancers. But then they had their younger dancers come out for 2:45, dive in the pool.
Okay. It's classic.
Classic song. Anytime I see this, I'm fired up about it. Shout out to the little blondie in the front. She was working. You could tell her performance quality is going to be incredible as she gets older and as she kind of hones it in a little bit more. But I was absolutely could not take my eyes off her. It was just such a fun energy, and the whole team was keeping it up the entire time. I feel like there was never a dip, no pun intended. But there was never like a dip in energy. I feel like they kept it the whole way through, and I feel like they were continuing to challenge themselves. So congrats to Brooklyn Dance Academy. Loved getting to watch your performances this weekend.
Okay, I have another one from a Rainbow Columbus. It was 260 Carmen. Dancer's name is Allie from Jazz Dance and More. This was the only performance that they brought for the weekend, and it was a tap performance. I love a tap solo. I mean, I talk about it every week. Blue tap shoes, like a pretty like periwinkle blue, like almost like this moment that's happening right here. It was stunning. She had a matching flower in her hair. She was wearing like a black sparkly bodysuit, and it was so crisp. I said, she's a professional. Has to be. Like, has to be. The moment that she walked out on stage, like I was pivoting so that I could go down to the table because it was only a few acts till awards. And so I was just waiting for the performance to be done before I walked around and got behind the judges table, and I was stopped dead in my tracks. You know, like how you're waiting to go down and you like look at your phone and you're like checking things out. Nope. Couldn't do it. I had to watch her solo. I was so enamored by her. She was fantastic. She had me locked in. I couldn't not watch. Congratulations. One performance, just bringing that and then killing it.
Yep.
Casual.
One and done, she said.
One and done.
All right, I'm hopping over to Ultra Hampstead. We had a double show this weekend. I was just looking through the results page, and this one stood out to me. Act number 19, Hide and Seek. This is Hayden Butler from High Voltage Dance Company. Costuming, she had this like black box of like eyeshadow, I think, across her eyes. Super cool black unitard vibe. It was an acro gymnastics solo. But when I was watching it, I was like, this feels like so much more than just like acro gymnastics, because sometimes we can get stuck in those skills and stuff, but she was performing. Like her focus from the moment she walked out on stage was dialed in. I was like, oh, this is like kind of cool, kind of spooky. It was like that hide and seek is like really slow and scary. Super cool performer. And I was like, competitive plus, like you're only gonna get better. This is already great. You killed it, Hayden. So good.
Wow.
I have another really cool acro routine.
Okay.
Same thing. Like they weren't just doing acro.
Yeah.
It was like a full-on performance. This was from Car Hattiesburg, 414 The Raven. This was a secondary large group from Sunny's Elite Dance Academy. Such a mature piece, I feel like, for this age level. You could tell they were really getting pushed with, like, again, the performance quality of it all. It started off with, they had like this cage in the center and all of them were kind of trapped under there. They were caged birds. And then that one main dancer who had the mask on was kind of like the lead. And I just love the visuals of what was happening. I feel like there was partner work over here, there was lifts over here, and then she was doing something really cool up here with like a back bend with like a leg. Like again, there was just so much visually to watch. But what I loved so much was that they were dancing. It wasn't just trick, transition, trick. It was actually bringing in like an emotional storytelling element to it, and I just thought it was so good. I really enjoyed watching it. Shout out to the younger babies too. It was a pretty large group, and there were some younger ones that were getting up there doing some lifts, doing some tricks, and they kept up with those older girls. So I just want to give those a shout out, because I know as that young dancer sometimes you feel the pressure of like, I'm only 7 and I'm in this group routine. But they held their own. They were absolutely so good, and I just loved it. And so did our MC Adria. She was like, you have to talk about this. It was just her number 1 pick of the week. So congratulations to the Raven from Sunny's Elite Dance Academy.
Okay, before I talk about another city's performance, I had a promposal at my event. Never done one before, but I've always heard about like the boyfriends reaching out to like Car Rainbow Ultra, like asking if it's okay. So let me paint the scene for you. So I was in the lobby, getting some photos to post on social, and I see this boy walk by, and he's got like a sign and roses, and I was like, oh my God, this is adorable. And he like walked by too fast, so I couldn't stop him. And then he comes back later without the roses and the sign, and I was like, did you already do it? And he was like, no. I was like, do you want to do it on stage? I was like, we can make this happen. And he was like, no way, you would do that? Like, how would we do it? Hang on, let me go and talk to her mom. So then he went and talked to her mom to make sure it was okay that she had the sign and the roses on stage. Because, you know, sometimes like studios, you have to wear your jacket and you have to make sure that you're not wearing your costume, or you are wearing your costume. Like there's different rules for different studios. And so he made sure that it was okay. And so both of them came back and they asked me how to do it, like how we were going to do it. And I was like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. So he hid backstage at the beginning of awards. We played the awards announcement, and I'm like, I have a special guest. You know, we're going to obviously play the video. We took video and photos of both of it, of the entire thing. And she was so surprised. I loved it. I was like, it was like I was watching a movie, like a rom-com, and I was into it. And then afterwards, they were so excited that we took photos and videos, and I'm excited for them.
That's cool. That's a cool memory to me.
It was so cool. Okay. So that rounds out my Rainbow Columbus weekend, which was fantastic, by the way. I'm going to move on to Car Lenore, number 503, Sign of the Times from Expressions Dance Studio. If you've been watching Playback for a while, you know that there was a performance that I loved Falling from Big City Dance Center from Detroit like a few years ago. I want to say like
Our first season.
4 years ago.
Our very first season.
Love that routine. Love Harry Styles, obviously. This was giving that vibe to the max. They had on these beautiful blue like dresses. Like they could have almost been like a prom dress moment. It was like had like that shuddery feel of the long length of the dress, and they were using it. And obviously I love Sign of the Times. That's just such a classic song. I was obsessed with the costuming. I watched the little clip of the performance from the results page, and I was like, I have to watch the entire routine right now. And it was really just giving that Big City Dance Center vibe, but for Expressions Dance Studio. And they placed first overall. I loved this routine. I want to wear that dress. Like maybe for IDAs or something.
Ooh. Call them up. Have them make you one.
Where'd you get it?
So good. Okay, I'm doing another one for Hampstead. This was number 418, Butterfly Effect. This is from Turning Point Dance Academy. I just have to say, initially, like as soon as I clicked on this video, it was like mesmerizing.
Okay.
They were moving, it felt like slow motion, and it was like, I wasn't there, but I could imagine it, like you could probably hear a pin drop. It was silent. Usually like in our videos, you can hear like the audience and stuff. It was silent. Like everybody had to have been so intently watching this. It looked like they were creating these pictures. It was almost like water. Like they're in this one moment. I want them to show this specific moment. It's like they're in like a group clump and their arms are like moving all around. It literally looks like water. It's so beautiful. These dancers are absolutely ballet trained. So good. Their legs, they have all these, their pictures have to be stunning. Like check the social because I'm putting all of them up. They're going to be so good. I was just like, wow, that was definitely one that I wanted to see. Like I wish I was over there in Hampstead to see this one. First overall, senior group, duh. So good.
Duh.
Ultra competitive, like, duh. Come on. So good. Beautiful. So good.
The MC reached out to me about that one. So
Yeah.
I was
Good,
hoping
good.
you were going to talk about it. And if you weren't, I was going to.
Sorry, stole it.
No, it's a good
Whoa.
one. It's a good one. Okay. The next one I'm going to talk about is from Rainbow Overland Park. We had a huge show in Overland Park this weekend. We do it every single year. It's always a double stage. It's huge. And this was actually sent to us from our producer, Ansel. And basically, this was 746 Shattered. This dancer's name is Evie Richard from Premier Dance. Already, the second it started, I was locked in. It was one of those pieces where it's like those crazy sounds where it's like, is it shattered glass? Is it
raindrops?
Yeah,
Is
like
it-
it's just all those crazy cracking sounds. But what I loved about it so much is her musicality was on point. It was like her body was creating those sounds. This girl's back, actually lack thereof. She was just
No
flipping
spine
back.
or what?
No spine. It was giving
Wow,
Coco Bachshaw.
Jealous.
Yeah, it
I
was like
wish.
every time she was hitting those accents, she was just throwing herself back. Like every time I was like, because she just kept doing it the
Snap in
whole.
half.
It was so good. It was so mesmerizing to watch. But also, what I loved is kind of throughout the piece, it started to add in this really pretty piano. So it wasn't that sound the whole time. It started adding this really cool piano, and so she would like kind of be pretty, and then she'd go back to her cracks, and then it was just it was so good. I wish I could have watched it live. And when I say I love a dancer being so locked in, and then the second that they end, they're like,
Yeah, it's so cute. I love that.
I'm like, wait, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
You were literally like a locked in machine. And then the second she lifts her head after her song's done, she's like, and I'm like, wow. That was
Character
a
break.
performance.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Actress.
Actress. Yeah. No, it was just absolutely insane. I feel like she was so controlled, so clean. And I would have died to have your back as a child. Truly. Like,
It's true.
you are killing it. I'm obsessed. Congrats, Evie.
Wow. Okay, so I have a similar performance that gives like those crazy sounds and and moments from Car Upland 446 No More Dancing from Dance Precisions. Love Dance Precisions. They had that 9 to 5 performance last year at Ultra Battlegrounds that I loved.
Oh, yeah, I
This was
loved that.
kind of similar to that, except they were wearing like these bodysuits that were like long sleeve and all the way down to their ankles. That was like a nude but like sparkly all over with the socks and everything. I said how in all caps. Every beat is hit by the most intricate choreography. I kept saying, OMG, whoa, wait, what is happening now? Like, you can ask the girls in the office while I was watching it yesterday. I was just like, wait, how do you, how did you hit that? You know, like it was crazy. I describe dance precisions like they are so cool already, and then they look so confident in every move that you're just enamored by them that you literally can't look away. So I was like watching, but also trying to make mental notes of typing my notes to talk about on the episode. But it was like so hard because my body and my mind were working so much faster than I could type for that performance because they're just so cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They've like remained iconic for so many years. Just
Like,
so good.
how do they do that?
Yeah.
So good.
And they
OG.
look so confident too while they're doing it, that they make it look like I could do it too, but I definitely couldn't do it, you know?
Yeah. They make it look easy, but it's not.
No,
Yeah.
not even for
Wow.
a second. I wouldn't even want to try because I wouldn't look as cool as they do.
Yeah, they're cool.
Wow. So good. I have another one. This is back to San Jose. This is number 406, Islands. This song, always. I feel like once like you see this in a program, it's like, all right, got to be sat for that one, no matter what. This is from Lana's dance studio. I got to see Miss Lana. So
Miss
sweet.
Lana.
She's just the sweetest. Trench coat moment.
Oh.
Super cool. Different than what I've seen. This song is always approached very differently, which is why I love to watch these. I got to see them their moment before they went on stage, and I think that's what like really had me wanting to talk about it. Their teachers and their friends and everybody that was waiting backstage for them, they were like, you guys have worked so hard for this moment. You got it. Like, and I felt like all of them perk up right before they went on stage, and they walked out there and they killed it. They took off their coats. They were like throwing them. It was just such like a powerful piece. I could tell like this was the one that they're like, this is our piece. This is the one that we want to show the world. We want to show everybody. So I just had to talk about it. And then they came off and they were so stoked. It was just like a moment for them.
Yeah.
Beautiful power performance. If it wasn't the judges, it would have been mine, you know. So good. You guys kill it. That whole studio, I just wanted to say too, like they have such a long line of culture of like just being humble and respectful and so kind to everybody backstage. They're so friendly, and I think that we gotta just keep that going through the dance world. It's so important, and they've done such a good job with it. So thank you, Miss Lanas, for being so kind.
I love
them. Okay, the next one is an MC pick. So I reached out to all my MCs, and we had MC Becky in Car Lenore, and she chose 2 performances. One was from Expressions that you already talked about, but this was a different routine.
Okay.
This was 556, There She Goes. This was an elite small group. Her commentary on it was this lyrical dance was so well done. The use of their prop was insane. At the end, they turned the bench prop almost up on its side, and the dancer like climbs up and then kind of like jumps back off, and they catch her. And she just said it was such a surprising and creative way to use the prop and kind of just elevate the routine. And I was like, okay, I have to watch this. I need to see what's happening with this bench. Loved it. Again, I feel like it was such a pretty routine. You almost wouldn't think they would do that.
Yeah.
But it added, I think, like the finale of the piece. You know how like sometimes it's like the energy's raising. I feel like that was like the climax of the whole piece, and it was so cool. So yeah, absolutely loved it. And there was just such great moments throughout the entire piece. So shout out to There She Goes from Expressions Dance Studio. And then the other one from Car Lenore is 412 Burn. This dancer's name is Kara from Miss Donna's School of Dance.
Miss Donna.
Love. Absolutely love. From the second that this dancer came onto the stage, you could feel the emotion and the intention behind her movement. Her technique, musicality, everything was stunning. But like the way that you could tell she was connecting with the audience. I think it's really easy to tell when you're watching a video. Are they focused on the judges? Are they looking at the MC? Like, where's the focus? Sometimes when they're in a really big arena or like in a theater, they're kind of
Eyes
geared
up,
more
yeah.
up. Like, so I could just tell she was like,
Panning.
yes. And I feel like that's just, again, an elite dancer is like, no, watch me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just stunning. And she ended up winning first overall, the elite Miss Dance. Like, she just killed it. So shout out to Kara. Absolutely stunning performance. And it's such a good song. And just, love Miss Donna's, love Car Lenore. It sounded like it was an awesome weekend. So congrats to those two.
Okay, the last one that I want to talk about is from Car Hattiesburg, number 285, Uncomfortable. Dancer's name is Ava from Dance South. This is another one where I watched the little results clip and I had to run to the studio center because I needed to watch the entire performance. This dancer is stunning. You can tell that she hones her craft. She moved across the stage like butter. Ooh. Like the things that she was doing, I had to pause and go back multiple times because I'm like, how did you do that? Can you show me one more time? Let me slow it down because I don't know how physically that is possible. There's this split part where she goes into the middle splits and then she like comes up and around and goes back into that split. And I've seen it done before, but she did it different. And I don't know how. It looked so cool. She's just perfection. And I really did love every moment. I watched her performance probably 7 or 8 times because I was obsessed, and I might have slowed it down at one point just to watch her in slow-mo. And then I made it even faster. And
whoa,
it's so cool. She's cool.
I want to watch it.
Yeah. You have to. She's stunning. Congratulations, Ava. I loved you. I loved watching your performance, and I want to see you live. Please, thank you.
Please, thank you. All right, hear me out.
Okay.
I have 2 routines that I want to talk about. Coast to coast, though.
Oh.
One in San Jose.
Uh-huh.
One in Hampstead.
Okay.
They're both hip-hop routines.
Okay.
And if these 2 could have been in the same show, that would have been ideal for me. You know, I was watching, so I'll start with the Hampstead one.
Okay.
Number 364, Bus It. First of all, apparently I heard that there was like insane hip hop at this entire show, and you guys were like showing out with this, like really going off. So this routine, I watched it through a video, and I was like, I can feel the energy yelling at me through the screen. It was insane. I was like, I feel like I'm there right now, and it's this little tiny laptop screen that I'm watching. So I'm really sad that I couldn't see that one. But I did see number 416, Festival, DNA Dance Collective.
I would have loved to see both of them together.
I want like an America's Best Dance Crew moment with those 2 routines. Like I want them to go like not even there's like more for like the vibes, not even like competition. It's just like I want a show,
a
and that would be so fun to watch. Those 2 routines, I'm like, it's crazy, coast to coast. It's like dance is happening everywhere, and I'm like, yep, get those 2 together. Let's meet in the middle somewhere like
those
Texas.
2 together. Bring that studio from Guam.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So good. You guys killed it. This weekend was fun.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Yeah, I was bummed I couldn't make it to either of those shows. It was super cool. Okay.
Man.
Well, I wasn't at a show this weekend. I did pop into the Upland show on Saturday, but we had a really special DAC weekend. So first and foremost, I traveled to Cincinnati, Ohio. We had one of our Hope Stories, Layla Cordy, officially ring her bell. She's officially in remission, done with her cancer treatment. So we got a chance to kind of just sit down with her mom, get to just be a part of the family and celebrating her, got to meet her doctors, her nurses. It was just very cool. And it was cool because they were saying, you know, she comes back for her treatment and she's talking about JoJo and she's talking about the dress that she got to wear on the red carpet. And so they've been hearing her perspective of everything. So it was cool to definitely just get everyone together to support her. We had our other Hope Story, like our OG DAC kid, Valerie Newton, who isn't a kid anymore. She's
an
19
adult.
years old. She's going
In
to school. And
college?
it's so crazy cool to see how DAC has evolved over the years. And we're going to have a really special video presentation to share just with all of that information and just to show you guys what the weekend was, because it was super, super special. But not only that, a couple hours away at Nurka's show, we had one of our Hope Stories that we had donated to in 2024. Her name's Braylee Epperson, and she was battling an ovarian tumor. She was dancing with Cindy's Cindy's Studio of Dance. And it was just so cool for her to be able to, number one, get back up on a stage because it had been a while. But number two, she got to stand up there and talk and just share her experience as a dancer, receiving a $10,000 donation from Dancers Against Cancer. And again, like you were at that show, talk a little bit about the audience reaction of it all. Because I know the emotions run high when you get to see someone who has benefited from those donations.
Yes. So I didn't know her story. I just knew that she was there. Her parents came up and she was like, I'm down to talk. And I was like, okay, sick. Like, let's do it. So I was like, I want to tell the facts. I want to talk about the numbers first. I want to talk about Layla for a moment because literally the day prior, she rang the bell. the audience erupted with cheer when I said that Layla rang the bell, and literally goosebumps down my whole body.
I have goosebumps right now when you're talking about
Like,
it.
it's so awesome. And then Braylee got up and talked about her story. So that was the first time that I'm hearing about it. As a competition director and you're on stage and you get emotional about those things, it's so hard to hold those things in, because when she was talking about her diagnosis and not being able to dance and all of those things, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I'm seeing this beautiful dancer perform on stage knowing that she couldn't prior to this moment. And this is probably one of her first times back on stage. And it was just such a cool moment and a learning moment for me as a competition team member to see it firsthand. And everyone in the audience just roaring with applause for her when she was like, I'm in remission and there's no signs of cancer in my body anymore. I'm just like, ooh, it just goes to show what DAC does for these kids, these families, these parents, teachers, you name it. Like, we're trying to help them.
Yeah. It was a really cool weekend. The fact that we had 3 Hope Stories out of Ohio sharing their stories and just seeing how far they've come. So anyway, just had to touch on that because we're so proud of all of our kids, and not just kids. Obviously, we have studio directors and parents and literally anyone in the dance community that's battling. We're here to help. So just thank you to our donors and to our sponsors for continuing to support us. We couldn't support these families without you. So thank you. But yeah, it was just a super cool, special weekend. I'm excited to get back out on the road this weekend. I'm going to be in Redondo Beach for Rainbow.
Okay. I'm going to be in Orlando. There's 2 Orlando shows. I'm at Orlando too.
I'm heading back to New York, ultra Long Island.
Whoa.
I've been to New York 3 times.
Yeah.
We like New York.
Some big New
It's
York
fun.
shows.
It's exciting. I love New York. I'm going early to have fun.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm jealous. I wish I could pop into New York.
I might go to Disney World after my show.
It's supposed to be
Casual.
nice.
It's supposed to be nice.
You know?
Well,
Why
I'll
not?
be here. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. If we see you guys out on the road, we've had so much fun meeting you guys throughout this season and getting to see the people behind the performances. And
Yes.
it's just been so cool.
A
And
couple of you guys came up this weekend, and I actually got to say hi, which was like exciting.
yeah.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
choreographers
Super cool.
too. It's cool getting to meet the teachers and being like, wait, you choreographed that routine that I talked about last season? Like, you're
Like,
iconic.
let's talk about it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's been really cool. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you're following all things CAR, Rainbow Ultra, and DAC. Subscribe to our Playback podcast to watch all of our episodes, and we'll see you on the road.